Hi folks, welcome again to the Wednesday podcast again.
We're getting bad at this.
Yeah, we're getting later and later, but that's just the festive period. So basically today, just a short and sweet quick little review. Only two main matchups and then a wee undercard for us this week. So that's basically it. Just we'll get your thoughts and stuff on that basically. So
The only other thing we're going to mention was the AGM that Gary sent text about. So provisionally we have spoke about Sunday the 7th of February, which is the night of Super Bowl. Depending who's all available. I know some people have confirmed, some are unsure. So if you do listen to this, try and get back to Gary and give him an idea if it's going to be possible. We'll try and get as many as we can for that.
Aye, I think Super Bowl Sunday makes sense for that. I'd imagine most folk will book the next day off work, so hopefully that's the case and we'll figure something out anyways. But as Riley said, just get back to Gary with your availability close to the Super Bowl.
So what do we want to cover first? Do we want to cover the big matchup, the little matchup? Which one will we go down the route?
We'll go with the undercard first.
Undercard, right? So that will be myself, James. So that was a third and fourth playoff for the big bronze medal, which there is no money to be won. Glasgow Falcons scored 131 to the Ayrshire Eagles 90. So it was a complete diabolical show. I was completely destroyed by James. But as soon as Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams sat up for nearly 50 points between them, I never had a shot in hell. So, quickly moving on.
That was amazing. They both get back to their best this week. So.
They'd say players played well, but
Adams had 3 touchdowns, didn't he? So. They both were back to their best this week.
Let me see. Adams get 37 points. It's not updated on my screen properly. I'll just get 33. So 70 points.
That was a proper snowy game. So I thought they would have ran the ball more there, but no. Turned out Aaron Rodgers defied the weather. So not much he could have done there.
Are we talking MVP Rodgers maybe?
Definitely candidate. You fucker. He's definitely up there. Sorry, I'm just burning my hand there. He's definitely in there with a shout, so he is. So.
This is Welcome to Cooking with Ian Fairfield. The Naked Chef.
The Naked Chef. That's why I'm only showing my face.
I could watch the ethnos. In your Facebook pictures, mate. So it was a bit as soon as he up for 70 points, those two players scored 20 less points than my entire team that week. So I think I stood much of a chance, but hey-ho. That is fantasy football for you. I think we'll to the toilet bowl, which was a lot closer matchup. We had Robert and Pedro. So Zeke and Destroy scored 133. That was Robert's team against the Brighton Chiefs, scoring 126. So with just under 7 point total, that was a win for Robert. Another good week for a few of his players. Kelsey was just under 20 points. Deshaun Watson had 32. He had a really good bounce back week. CD Lamb, a couple of touchdowns against the Eagles. Sorry, one or two touchdowns?
2,
aye. 2. It was a rushing and a receiving, getting him a good 20 points. So, and in the process, knocking the Eagles out of the playoff hunt. So, good double hit for Cowboys fan Robert there, getting a few points off of him. Overall, Pedro, his guys didn't do too badly. Just nobody was hitting out with the really high scores other than maybe Trubisky, and Bernard had a reasonably good day as well.
It was basically touchdowns that decided this one, I think.
I should mention Nelson Aguilar did have a good week for Pedro. He was a bit unlucky in that front.
I would have benched him against the Miami defence as well, to be fair. So it was only, I think it was Henderson and Goddard were the only players on Robert's team not to get a touchdown in that one. So he had two players that got 2 touchdowns.
Aye.
So that was quite a good one. Aye, basically just touchdowns in that one, because I think there's only one player that got a touchdown for Pedro there. McKissick. No, well, Aguilar got the touchdown as well. So 2 players with a touchdown for Pedro, but Robert had countless touchdowns over his players. So Pedro's unfortunately the toilet. Toilet bowl champion.
He's just missed out in the playoffs and ended up in the toilet bowl, and he had the brush.
Crazy, isn't it? But that's good for Robert though, because Robert was finished bottom of the league last year, didn't he? So
yes, so it's a definite improvement. Sorry. And then the big matchup, the one that we all were waiting for, and to be fair, it was probably the 2 best teams to play in it, because they have some really high points. We had Dan's Double Doinks at 160 versus the East Kilbride Giants at 136. So that meant Dan took the win against Gary by around 24 points. Similarly, he was hitting out with some really big points totals for his guys. Sorry, this is Dan I'm talking about. Tom Brady had an unbelievable 4 touchdown day for 37 points, which Gary could have potentially kind of countered that. Bush Allen, who I think got for 40 points, might have made it a bit closer, but I don't really think there was much there that would have made any difference for Gary. I think his team, there's no match up there that he could have done that would have allowed him to win. So
you could have put Allen in and it would have brought him within 4 points, but as you say, there was nobody, I don't think there was anybody on his bench that he could have put in that would have got a higher score than those that started. Just having a quick look at now, because the scores aren't actually updated.
He had a good week. David Jones.
There was nobody
7 points for Dan. Anyway, this is for David Johnson scoring 27 points. Darren Waller had an okay 30 points. Metcalf had an average 9. But it says it was a Tom Brady. Even Zeke, who's not really been in a good bit of form, had hit for 16. And everybody's April, Tyreek Hill under 10 points. So there was nobody else really hitting the massively big points, but just enough to push out in front. Even Tampa getting 14 points, that's just enough to keep it. Aye, good performance by Dan this week, and he takes the Super Bowl champion. Trophy.
Congratulations, Dan. Welcome to the club.
Former champion.
That was inevitable. But still get the trophy, so well done, Dan, and welcome to the club.
So officially, now that week 16 has been completed, your existing squads, that is the teams that you have to select your keepers from. So if on your injury reserve, I'm afraid they're not an option for you now, guys. So too little, too late and all that. So anybody who is thinking about keeping anybody, this is your squad. So look at your squad. IR guys are exempt.
They're good. Some folk will be getting a bargain with a couple players here and there. So late round picks.
Aye.
So and then obviously there's a couple of free agent guys that'll be. We won't know what round pick they'll have until nearer the time, kind of thing. But there'll be a few wee bargains in there, I would imagine. There's quite a few free agent pickups this season.
I would say there's like DeAndre Swift is obviously one that's really high in my list of be kept getting an 8th round pick.
We'll probably do a wee podcast in the future going over all the teams and talking about their potential keepers and that, maybe. See if anybody's interested in that, we could potentially do something like that.
Aye, that would be quite good to get something sorted. So again, we said we'd keep this short and sweet, so there's nothing really majorly to go over. The only thing we were sort of saying is, like Ian mentioned there, about doing something with involving some of the other guys. I'd like to still get a conversation with Dan on one of these, being a Super Bowl champion, when either before or after the trophy arrives. And then during the playoffs, we might try and pick something up as well, where we try and have a wee conversation about predictions going forward for the matchups as they're happening, just to keep everybody kind of still chatting about NFL and whatnot. But one other thing I'd sort of say to, I think Doug's one as well.
The message is home earlier than expected.
So
she's not usually home at this time, but
I think it's just because she was ready to make the selection. She's just thinking, which one go for? So we were thinking, what are your selections for the Super Bowl winner? So I'll go first, seeing as Ian's a wee bit preoccupied.
I'm fine now.
I'm going to stick with someone who's in my team and someone who has pumped my team a few times. We'll go for a slight outsider and we'll go for the Green Bay Packers. I think Aaron Rodgers, the form he's in with Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, I think they could, particularly, I think you're getting odds 11-2, it's just over 5-1. So for that kind of money, good shout for me.
I just think you can't look past the Chiefs. Again, I think they're just too good. So I know they're favourites, but I just don't think you can look past them. So the Chiefs would be my one. I would do an outsider. Try to think. I feel like the Titans game, their ground game, if they get in, it's late kind of December, January football, so they could get to the championship game again. But I think you kind of look by the Chiefs.
Yeah, we'll go for that. We'll go for the Packers and the Chiefs. We'll take them in that.
That'd be an interesting Super Bowl, mind you.
I was going to say AFC and NFC, so that's a possible matchup. So, maybe we'll chuck a couple of quid on that being the Super Bowl and see how it goes.
Maybe that'll be the Super Bowl.
I'm going to find out what the odds are for that tonight and get that placed. Right, I think that sort of covers what we're looking to do tonight. We'll go and let you talk to the missus and the dogs and eat your dinner.
Aye. The fucking dog just launched herself over the baby gate there to go and see her.
I'm going to sit and watch the Tartan Army, the Toon Army. Close.
Good luck. Spurs game was cancelled, so Rangers get a win though, so that's all that matters.
I don't think there's much hope for Newcastle against this Liverpool team, but stranger things. Eagles have managed to win a Super Bowl, anything can happen. Right,
no worries, well,
we'll sign out.
We'll catch you over the off-season, maybe. Fantasy's over for the year.
Right, spot on. Right, cheers guys.
September, August. Bye-bye.
Cheers.